Coach, just generally now that you've gotten a few weeks, a couple months into the season, we know this is a championship core, but every year your team needs to build a new identity for that year. Just wanted to get your thoughts on where you were at in that respect.
We were trending well, and then the injuries came. So it's almost like we're restarting. Different rotation, different starters. A guy that was kind of just outside the rotation is now starting. So it's a totally different kind of team. That's what the NBA season is. You have to reinvent yourself multiple times, usually, unless you're lucky with health. So, I've been really proud of the way the guys have played. They're focused and great no matter who's playing. But yeah, we're a work in progress still. We kind of hit our stride. We won the 7 in a row. Had another short streak there. And then, some unlucky things happened to us. So it's the way it is.
As you talk about redefining the team on the backs of Chris Paul's retirement, you're working with two big men that kind of, go old school, harken back to that old game. Just what's it been like to work with those guys and how that, again, gives this team its identity?
Yeah, just physicality. And I think our two big guys, obviously one of them is, one of the greatest players that's ever played. The other one is a really skilled, physical big guy in Jonas, and he's been so good for us. I've said this, in our market multiple times, not just the way he's played, because he's just a stat machine, per minute, points, rebounds. But his leadership, in the locker room and his overall attitude has been so good. So, yeah, it is more of an old school way. We post him up a lot. We look like a 1995 team sometimes, just calling turnouts and floppy punches and things that guys used to run all the time. But that's who we are. So when we have to go there, we do. But yeah, it's been it's a blessing for me to have both those guys to go to throughout a game.
Coach, you had Spencer Jones starting in the last game. Did he do enough to get another start tonight, or how do you judge that? Is it his play with the team? Is it his individual play? How do you work on that?
Yeah, it's more just how everybody flows together than anything else. And I like having Tim and Bruce come off the bench. I think they bring punch on offensively and defensively, and obviously with Jonas. And Spence, he got the 2 fouls early right away in that game, last game the other night. So I have no idea what the flow would have been like. Yeah, he's a guy I trust. We'll put him back out there. And, after this game, we have a few days to meet as a staff, look at everything, reassess positively or negatively, and then we'll go from there going into the weekend. So, no, I have nothing but positive things to say about Spence, and I think he'll be good tonight.
Two of the guys that are injured you talked about are probably two of your more consistent guys. You know every single night what you're going to bring. Is a silver lining in this the fact that it's early and you do get to see other guys and experiment with other guys? Teron Holmes is back up from the G League. Guys that may have been lost had not the injuries come.
Yeah, that is the positive. The silver lining, like you said, it's just to see, people in different roles and more responsibility. Because when you get to the main rotation, everybody's role takes a little step back when you have everybody healthy. It's also just a great opportunity for these guys. I mean, it's more minutes. It's not bit minutes; it's longer, extended minutes. You get to see what they can do, and I think the good thing too is having Nikola and Jamal healthy. You can see how people complement them. When Jamal's out there without Nikola, we're a different kind of team. So it gives guys a chance to fit in that way, as opposed to with Nikola when it's just him out there. It's a different style of basketball. I think it's good in that sense. And we have to try different people throughout, the next couple of weeks, all the way up to January, with those guys out. And we have to find a good rhythm. And like I said, we're reinventing ourselves on the fly here. We have to win games. That's all that matters. And I'll play anybody to win a game.
When you think about Ryan Saunders now, who's in Memphis, you coached alongside of him for a couple years there, just what comes to mind? And then, too, in Memphis now, he's kind of like the defensive coach. What do you think about that part of it, like him as a defensive coach and what he did with you guys in Denver?
Yeah, Ryan is really consistent every day. Great work ethic, great person. What we did in Denver as a staff was obviously I'd never done before there. So very cool to work with him. I worked with him in Minnesota as well. All those years back when we were much younger people. But no, Ryan's a great dude, a good partner to work with. I was running the offense when he was running the defense. And those relationships can be strained sometimes, and we didn't have that. We had a good complementary relationship. When one person wants to crash the glass, the other person wants everybody to get back. Those are conversations you have to have together. But Ryan's a friend. I'm glad he landed here. He'll help this team, this organization, just with his professionalism, and like I said, his consistency.
Hey, Coach, when you play a team like Memphis with musical chairs with all the injuries and not knowing who you're playing for, how you prepare for a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have scouts. That's why we, deep dive into people, when they played last year, guys that played in the G League. Like, you take a deep look at people. And I think we've gotten a good sample size because of their injuries. Guys have now played extended minutes, put the ball's been in their hands maybe when it wasn't before, when Ja was playing more consistently. And totally off topic, I get to watch my boy KCP on tape, which I love KCP. Miss him in Denver. Great personality, great person. His kids, his family, we miss them. His kids used to run our family room. So I miss Pope.
I was wondering with Zach Edey back and the size factor that
he's
he
big.
brings. What he is big. How does that affect your plan at all, or what do you tell your guys about a 7'6" guy in there?
Yeah, I mean, we have to have multiple bodies, keep him off the offensive glass. He's a really skilled player for his size. Very impressive. I think it says a lot about him coming from college and some of the doubters. Can he get up and down? Can he play at this level with the speed of the game? And he really has found a way to do it. He's a load down there. They can match, and with him playing, they can match up differently. That he's so big inside, they can play different kinds of defenses. He creates a challenge for us. But like I said, I think the offensive rebound is the biggest thing for me. It's just when you rotate and fly around and your big guy leaves his body, somebody else has responsibility to go find him and keep him off the glass, and that usually means more than one human being.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks, guys.